This is encouragement, bite-sized stories to refresh your soul. Here's Randy Zachary with a little encouragement.
Richard looked at the picture of his daughters and wept. Alone in a prison cell, they were a painful reminder of his many regrets. The regrets made it difficult for him to play the tough guy in prison, but he had to survive. Mail call was a daily reminder of all of the bridges he'd burned. While other inmates got mail, Richard never did. And then one day it happened.
Richard Andrews, special delivery.
Richard had received a letter. He didn't recognize the name, but a flicker of hope stirred as he opened it. It was handwritten from an elderly woman who told him he's not alone and that Jesus loved him. She signed it Rose. Richard was the farthest thing from a Christian. They were seen as weak in prison, and that wasn't good. Over the next 2 years, the letters from Rose came twice a month. One day, Richard's new cellmate asked him if he wanted to go to chapel. He'd never been, but he was bored and said yes. As the service ended, they were asked to bow their heads. As he did, he thought of his 2 daughters, who he loved very much. Richard began to cry. Just then his roommate tapped him on the shoulder. "Hey, can I pray with you?" he asked Richard, now sobbing, and Richard said yes. In that prison chapel, surrounded by convicts, Richard Andrew was overwhelmed by the love of Christ. Fast forward a year, Richard had been released from prison, got involved in a church worship team. After service one day, he was talking to friends when he heard someone call the name Rose. He stopped and approached her. "Do you write to prison inmates?" "Yes," Rose replied. "Rose, I'm Richard Andrew. You wrote to me in prison." Rose slipped off her chair, sobbing and praising God. Richard helped her up and they hugged and wept, while others praised God, weeping with them as they witnessed this miraculous reunion. Not long after, Richard stood at Rose's bedside as she went to be with Jesus. As she left this earth, Richard was grateful to see Rose be released from the prison of her elderly and worn-out body, this woman who wrote to him in prison. Isaiah 61 says, "The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to those who are bound."
Thank you for listening to Encouragement. If you've been refreshed, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share a little encouragement with someone you love. Encouragement is a podcast from Family Radio. These stories are just a taste of the stories you can hear every day. Listen at familyradio.org or find more encouragement on the Family Radio app.